It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Marketing comes up to set the pick. Clayton goes behind his back, now through his legs, drives with the right hand, into the paint, jump stops, short. Lowry soars in, catches, and puts a reverse layup off the glass and in. 3.2 seconds left. The entire arena on their feet. Mitchell, the second-year player out of Santa Barbara, will inbound on the far side. Shea is closest to Mitchell. Williams at the top, Holmgren on the near side. Mitchell has the basketball. Inbound to Shea. 3 seconds left. Drives with the left hand. Pulls from the mid-range. Hits it. We're going to overtime. 129-125. Deontay three-quarter court shot. And the Jazz put out a fabulous effort. Really felt like a great effort from the very beginning. And fall short.
Jazz lose 129-125 in overtime. Were you worried Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to miss there in the final seconds, PK? The Jazz are going to get out of there with a win?
Oh, I don't know that I was worried. I don't know that I was thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to make it for sure. But he's really good at that. He's a slithery dude. Manages to get to the line. What did he get? How many free throws did he shoot? 80 against the Jazz. What do you have? Man, he was at the line a lot. I mean, he's a good player, and he's hard to defend. You know, he's tall, he's lanky, he can move his body. So I felt confident for their sakes that he would probably get a good shot, unless the Jazz just decided that they were going to send 2 or 3 guys after him. But at that point, you know, to me, I was comfortable if they won, because that would have been a good sign. But the fact that they lost is even a better sign. And they had to go to overtime, which should gas them for tonight. And so get a home loss and continue on that road to AJ. That's my whole, forget the road to the Final Four. That's for the Cougars. The road for the Jazz is the road to AJ. Or at least somebody else. Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer's son had a big game. So continues my hope that they get a top 2 or 3 pick, maybe top 1, maybe the first pick, maybe to finally Lady Luck will shine upon them. It'll be really cool.
Markkanen leading them with 29 points. They had 5 guys in double figures, including Walter Clayton Jr. off the bench. You like him playing some big minutes late in the game, hitting some really tough shots. 15 points in 27 minutes. He's getting some minutes here, closing games.
Well, he did. He did against the Thunder, yeah. And, you know, he's an older kid because he played the whole time in college.
4 years,
so he's older than most of these younger guys and has been there at least at collegiate level. And so far, you know, where did they pick him? I don't even remember now, but it was later, right? And at this point, it looks like he might have something that could be a valuable asset to somebody. Like Nick Saban talks about creating value for your employer. Obviously, for them, it would be when he was coaching at Alabama. Most of them would want to be the NFL, but not all are going to make it. Very few, actually. So still create value. So what Walt is doing right now is creating value for himself for the Jazz, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, he was the 18th pick in the draft. As you mentioned, it is back-to-back. Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks here tonight. Tip-off at 7 o'clock, pregame at 6. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Good news for the Jazz draft prospects. The Atlanta Hawks trade Trae Young to the Wizards in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. Young had wanted to land in Washington. According to reports, he'd been in Atlanta 7 years. He's got $95 million remaining on the deal with a player option for next season. And he's not going to make him great, but he ought to make him less bad, right?
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
Really?
I mean,
you sense a lot of losses coming?
Atlanta was way better without him. That's why they wanted to get rid of him.
Yes.
And that's why he wanted out.
But doesn't Atlanta have more players than Washington? And I totally get that side of the argument. But for the Wizards, it seemed like the cupboard was a little more bare.
And so taking Trae Young in there for him to score a bunch of points and you lose, I don't see how he affects winning. And he may be a nice individual player who puts up nice stats, but how does he? You're acting like all of a sudden the Wizards are going to win more games with Trae Young. I don't know that I see it.
10-26, they lost to the Sixers yesterday. 10-26 as he moves to the club.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope he flourishes and the team goes on a second half of a run.
Well,
he seemed to me.
He could also get hurt and miss a bunch of games. And if that happens, and now they don't have McCollum, then the losses will pile up. The cupboard is even more bare if he's not out there, right?
Yeah.
The Nets looked like they might get a win. Magic and Nets trading big shots right there at the end. And the former BYU Cougar, Egor Demon, with a big shot there at the end, but trumped at the buzzer, and the Magic win 104-103 in overtime.
Yegor, man, I thought he couldn't shoot. He's shooting just fine, and his name isn't Demon. That was in Provo. It's like, I don't know now.
Say it,
he
Yak.
plays for
Yegor
Brooklyn.
Dielman.
Say it again.
Yegor Dielman.
Dielman. I don't see the L, but okay, I'm rolling with it.
Well, for the
I'm
Nets,
saying
I
you're
see a
wrong,
lot of
Yak.
Ls.
It's yeah, I know. So the Jazz almost got a little help there with the Nets winning, but the Nets are still stuck on 10 wins. Too bad. So sad didn't catch the break. Hornets also nearly won, but they're sitting on 13 wins right now. Raptors got them 97-96 with a shot at the buzzer. So a couple buzzer beaters. LeBron set out the Lakers' loss to the Spurs. If he misses one more game, he's going to be falling below the 65-game threshold, eligible to make him eligible for NBA awards. That would end his record streak, 21 seasons in a row as a member of the All-NBA teams. And it does seem like he's certain to miss one more game at this point. It would be surprising if he didn't, but there you go.
I don't know that he would make the All-NBA team either way.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
A laugher. BYU rolls 2-0 now in conference. 13-1. They blow out Arizona State 104-76. Richie Saunders, a career high 31 points. Plenty of guys with stats because they scored 104 points in 40 minutes. They were flying.
I got to see Saunders get some consistency with his scoring, with his jump shot. You know, it's fine when you're up 20 to be able to hit shots. He's got a different role on this team this year. And I want to see him, if he can get a little more consistency in the tougher games, and obviously the last night one was
not
one of them.
Those, yeah.
That would be a huge boost because they really do need the core guys to play well virtually every game. If like Bosovic gives you 8 points off the bench, we want to celebrate that because they don't get much production. So it's going to need to come from the three. And Kate obviously isn't a scorer, and Davis is a junkyard dog kind of guy who does a lot of different things for you. And so right now, I pretty much every game, I can count on DeBonsa and Wright doing their thing. And I gotta get some more consistency out of Saunders, which he's very capable of doing for sure. I don't think he's a big sky player. I'm not saying like that where I used to say some of those guys would have big games against the lower level competition. He's very capable of having big games against big competition. And if he can do that, you know, this team, and we're still 2 months away, obviously, but still has a chance to do something that they haven't done, and that would be the Final Four.
But to your point, against some of the bigger name opponents, he's been pretty quiet. And he had 17 points against UConn, but he was 0 for 7 from the three-point line. He had 0 for 7 from the three-point line against Clemson and only 5 points. His only other game that wasn't in double figures was Miami. So those are some of the better opponents they faced. He led up Wisconsin. That was a blowout, but still supposed to be one of the better opponents they faced. We'll see how Wisconsin does. While BYU was rolling, Utah loses in Boulder, Colorado, 85-73. And tonight, Big Sky action, Weber State at the Sky Dome, PK. Your old stomping grounds are playing NAU tonight.
I lit it up there in intramurals many times.
That a kid.
They
SUU's
put several courts on the football field there.
SUU is at UVU at 6 o'clock, and Utah Tech is at Cal Baptist. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Dallas Cowboy owner and general manager Jerry Jones said he still has aspirations and dreams at the age of 83, saying, "My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. That's my goal, to be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. We've got 3. How many more do I have to go?" As a single owner, Robert Kraft's got how many? 6? So I got work to do. Got work to do, but at least I'm up on the second rung in the ladder.
Yeah, I don't see how an owner actually retires unless he sells.
Yeah, nobody
so,
thinks Jerry Jones is going to sell.
And as Ford Scally said the other day, that he was his dream to play running back for the Utes when they moved him to safety. And he said Kyle Whittingham's dream was to play center field for the Angels. And that wasn't going to happen.
Not happening.
We all have dreams. I wanted to play third base for the Dodgers. And at about 14, I realized to myself, I said, PK, you got no chance.
It's good you figured it out that early. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh hailing his brother John after John was fired by the Baltimore Ravens, saying John will be out of a job very long and should be a head coach again ASAP. John Harbaugh's the best coach I know, the best coach I've ever seen. I'm his brother, so I might be biased. Well, I do think he's right about getting another job real quick if he wants one. Sometimes
the
these
best
guys...
coach he's ever seen. I'm his brother. Brady Papinga said that same thing yesterday about his brother Kelly.
Yeah.
So I love loyalty in the family. It's always sad when there is disloyalty in the family. Like you and your brothers, oh my gosh, the stuff I've heard from them that I can't repeat about you, it's sad.
Yeah, it's all true. Every last bit, and they're probably still holding some stuff back. There's probably even more.
Well, no, they were just praising your charity work.
Russell Wilson, switching agents, says he intends to play next season. Yeah, I'm not blinking. I know what I'm capable of. I think I showed that in Dallas. I want to do that again. Just be ready to rock and roll and be as healthy as possible and be able to play ball.
Okay, what league, what sport? Because didn't he get drafted? Was he one of those guys that, like Kyler Murray,
drafted as a baseball player
in the MLB?
I vaguely have a memory of that, yes.
He was a baseball draft pick, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's talking about MLB, man. Michael Jordan, here we go.
Saints are committing to Tyler Shuck being their starting quarterback next season. He was 5-4 as the team starter as a rookie. Kellen Moore, the head coach, telling reporters Tyler's done an awesome job through the entire process. He's gotten a ton better. He's taken advantage of a bunch of opportunities. So,
a Phoenix kid.
Another one.
Yeah. Well, he went to several different places.
Yep.
Texas Tech was along the way. Oregon, I think Louisville also. And the great comment that we saw last year on, and I've repeated this, draft night, is when they had the cameras there and they showed his family. The Dateline said Scottsdale when he grew up in Chandler, and then folks in Arizona and the Valley were on social media say, "Yep, that's that NIL working for you," because instead of Chandler as his home, it said Scottsdale, which is a ritzier area. I'm more of a Chandler guy. DJ, you're more of a Scottsdale guy.
Oh, well, now I understand it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in your terms.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football. Hashtag BYU.
BYU announcing the promotion of Kelly Papinga to defensive coordinator. Sione Bua will be associate head coach to Kalani Sitake in addition to coaching defensive tackles. And former SUU coach Demario Warren is the new defensive passing game coordinator and cornerbacks coach. He's coming to Provo from Boise State. So everything getting aligned in Provo. K-pop.
Yeah, and we were waiting for 2 weeks on the announcement for Papinga. And away you go. I mean, I love the guy, too. He's not my brother, but it's so many of these guys, it's the sign of me becoming prehistoric in that these guys that are getting these ascensions up the coaching ranks are guys I literally covered as players when I was a beat writer a good while ago. So, I've known the Papinga family, obviously, for over 20 years. I've known Kelly for many years. I think the world of him. He gets it. He gets the notion of selling BYU at all costs. Put me on the radio. Why? Well, because if I'm talking BYU football, I know the other guy isn't. You guys aren't talking Utah football. So the aspect, and then Kyle Whittingham, cut from the BYU tree, would always talk about recruiting. Praise me all you want, but it's about the players. And that is so true. And Kelly gets that as far as what you need to be successful. He can sell it. Now, his defensive acumen, we'll see how that plays out. He's got big shoes to fill. He's a guy who's been in coaching for a good while, been around the country now, various places, has made contacts. So I'm excited for him to get this opportunity. Guys who work hard, we want to see them rewarded. I think it was last winter, maybe the winter before, I sat next to him at a high school basketball game. He's watching some sophomore. I know the kid was a sophomore, and he's just sitting there by himself under the basket. And on a Friday night, I'm thinking there's probably a million other things he'd rather do.
Go to a high school basketball game.
But there was two kids one on each team, that he was just showing his face, and they were sophomores, and that, hey, we're interested in you. They're linemen. We'll see what happens, because I believe they're only juniors this year, and so they still got another year of high school basketball, as we're in region play now, and then obviously football next year. So the point I'm making is he will work. He will pay the price to get the job done.
Got to see those players playing other sports. We've heard all kinds of coaches talk about that. Show their athletic ability, their competitiveness, what kind of teammate they are. Coaches love to look at him and say, okay, you're not a star in this sport, so how's you as a teammate? Because you get to the college level, you might not be the star there anymore in football. So,
yeah, I had a number of scouts. I think that's where I learned the Dodgers weren't interested in me. They came out to me. I came out to watch me play badminton, and I kept just slamming that shuttlecock into the net, and I think they left early.
Nice. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Ty Simpson entering the NFL draft. He will pass on his senior season at Alabama. Started just 1 year for the Crimson Tide. His father, UT Martin coach Jason Simpson, said Ty received a first-round grade from each NFL general manager they contacted in the decision process. So, expecting to go round one, he is on his way.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was surprised.
That he'd be graded round one?
Yeah. No, I'm not watching him every game the way we are our guys, but it is Alabama, and you do get to see him play a lot. I'm surprised that his dad, who's in the business and should have an idea of what he's talking about and have connections, that they said that it was pretty much a lock that he would go first round. But I haven't watched him enough, and not that I'm a big quarterback analyzer anyway, but just didn't, especially at that position where we've seen so many guys go high and don't work, and we've seen so many guys go low that do work, that the dad was assured that the kid would be a first-round pick, and maybe he will be. Maybe it's just a situation of quarterbacks, and my gosh, if you show any kind of ability, we're going to take you.
Well, 64% of his passes complete, over 3,500 yards, and he had 28 touchdowns and 5 picks. And the thing I did hear, the 2 playoff games they played in the SEC title game, you see a lot of the pregame stuff and all that, and they were always questioning Alabama's ability to run the ball. They didn't have anybody run for 600 yards this year. And so not just the fact, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions to turn your head, but the fact that they just never consistently ran the ball, and he was still able to be productive probably earned him some points in the eyes of NFL guys.
All right, so there, he's got your endorsement.
He's going to throw it, and they know he's going to throw it. Yeah, but I'm with you. I haven't watched a bunch of it. I have no idea how it's going to translate. Maybe there's a little bit of, hey, it's a weak quarterback class also, so get into this.
Well, we have to see what happens with the Oregon kid more.
We do, yeah. Former Oklahoma and Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold on to another school, UNLV. He'll replace Anthony Contrea, who signed with Nebraska. You keeping the domino straight here as one tips over and another tips into another and another. You got this carousel all figured out?
Yeah, college quarterbacks are just like swingers. They keep going from partner to partner. I mean, it's crazy. At least with quarterbacks, well, only one can play, blah, blah, blah. I can understand it a little bit better. But some of these guys, they're established, and yet they still move. And away we go. And then some of them, it's kind of sad in that they're chasing a dream that they thought was on the radar, because most of these kids who are starting in college obviously were really good high school players, and then they get sold a bill of goods and start thinking, yeah, I'm all that. Their parents, I've seen it with the parents many times over, they get all high and mighty about it, and then there's a crash, and more often than not there's a crash than succeed, and they start chasing things that they're never going to get. And now, especially with the no penalty for the transfer, it's even more pronounced. It was back when you had to sit out. It still was pronounced. As far as the Elite 11, I saw a thing from last year or 2 years ago, 22 kids or 30 kids or whatever it was were there, and 60% have transferred, and of that, 80% have transferred twice. And they're trying to chase something that they thought was a strong possibility as a 16-year-old, and then when you get to be a 20-year-old, you find out it's not going to happen.
Ole Miss in Miami tonight, semifinal game. Ole Miss has scored a bunch of points now. The defense has seemed a little vulnerable at times, and not just in the 2 Georgia games. They gave up 35 to Arkansas also. You like Ole Miss to keep advancing without Lane Kiffin? Because we got this storyline, the coach who wanted to win the national championship may have left a team that could win the national championship.
Yeah, but it's not just Lane Kiffin. It's several coaches going back and forth. And it seemed like each advancement, fewer coaches are on the staff. I would have to think that would
catch up,
cause an issue at some point. I mean, I would love to see it. It's a Cinderella story. I think it's the biggest Cinderella story that we have. Indiana as a historic Cinderella, I get that. But if you look at what they're doing the last couple of years, this isn't a Cinderella anymore. They are a beauty queen all the way in that analogy. And still, Ole Miss isn't supposed to be there. And combined with what has been happening the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, really isn't supposed to be there. So it would be a cool story. So from that perspective of the underdog, to me, they're the biggest underdog. And that game is over there in Glendale down in the Phoenix area. So, yeah, I would like to see that just for a story's sake. It would be fun. And then you said about Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin has been a coaching lightning rod for many, many years, and he's still not that old.
Yeah. Miami, most points they've given up. That defense is really good. The most points they've given up this year is in regulation is 24, and they did that in the loss to Louisville and when they beat Notre Dame. So that's a really good Ole Miss defense. That's a really good Ole Miss offense and a really good Miami defense. So Miami actually.
And I like the Ole Miss kid Trinidad. That's a cool first name,
it is.
Trinidad.
And he's a great story. D2 transfer. That's
absolutely
awesome.
He's a great story. Yeah.
Miami favored by 3.5. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
I am thrilled to announce that right here in Rice-Eccles Stadium, the Utah Mammoth will host the Discover 2027 NHL Winter Classic.
Backdoor pass, and they score! Lawson Krause lasers one in, and the Mammoths are off and running. Brandon Tanev around behind the Ottawa net, wraparound, shut down, rebound loose, it's still loose, they're trying to jam it in, Miralainen got back, Utah saying it's in, and it is! The Mammoth kick down the door and make it 3-1!
And the Mammoth beat Ottawa 3-1. Nice win at home to kick off the 7-game homestand. With one of the stars out, with Cooley out, other guys have to step up. And it has been Dylan Guenther night after night after night. But last night, Lawson Krause gets his 10th goal. John Marino is third, and then Daniil Boot there with the second goal of the year. A lot of different guys contributing, PK. They get the win. And that puck was lying in the crease for it seemed like about half an hour. I mean, it wasn't. I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds, but it was
that
loose
puck
forever.
Lying in the crease.
Yep.
I thought you were a soccer guy.
Yeah,
now you're a hockey guy, too?
Maybe it was bouncing around in the crease a little bit. I just think of the Mike Folta coming on and saying, I want to see some greasy goals. That was the greasiest goal of the year, probably.
I never thought I'd hear when we started this 29, 30, 50 years ago, whenever it was, you'd be using the word crease. The puck in the crease.
Yeah. That's what
Did
it
you make
is.
a conscious decision?
Yes, immediately. Didn't even have to go to a game. It's clear cut to me. And the NHL, the Winter Classic, Rice-Eccles Stadium. They're going to face the Colorado Avalanche outdoors. Will they pick the, probably not, it'll probably be earlier, but could they do it like the Rose Bowl, so you time it so, the sun sets right, early third period or something, get a sunset over the mountains, really sell it, PK.
Yeah, do they play it? I guess it is, most of them are in the day, I'm trying to recall, right? Don't they play it in the day?
Yeah, I think they've all been in the day.
Yeah. It would be fun. Something different, sure. I mean, it's a game, it's a hockey game.
Right. But it makes it an event.
About.
Yeah, makes it an event. Something different.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Coming up, Dustin Smith, founder QB Elite, Spanish Fork high school football coach, is going to join us. And at 8:30, Don Moore, Utah Mammoth analyst for SEG Media. We'll talk outdoor hockey with him. Rice-Eccles Stadium and the Winter Classic coming in 2027. DJ and PK, the question of the day is next.